Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, if you'll please read the announcement and call the roll.
Please be advised, this meeting is being taped for video and audio broadcast. Assisted listening devices are available. Mr. Bonifant.
Here.
Mr. Porcello.
Here.
Mr. Hempstead.
Here.
Mr. Kimmel.
Here.
Mr. Sacchinelli.
Here.
Ms. Melendez.
Here.
Mr. Sarasis.
Present.
Ms. Bowman. Mr. Sims. Mr. Kides. Ms. Maggio. Mr. De Palma.
Here.
Ms. O'Toole Durko.
Here.
Mr. Igneri.
Here.
Mr. Livingston.
Here.
11 present.
11 present, we have a quorum. First item of business is acceptance of minutes, regular meeting of October 10th, 2017. I have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Igneri moves. Do we have any corrections, deletions, additions, omissions? There is one correction that I think we should make, and that is on page 2 of 7, if somebody wants to move that. Under Mayor's remarks, second paragraph, it's Mr. Hal Alvord, A-L-V-O-R-D. So
I will move it.
Okay, Mr. Igneri moves. Any other corrections, additions, or deletions? Seeing none, all in favor of the minutes as amended? Carries unanimously. Thank you. Public participation, Ms. King.
There's none.
No one.
There's nobody that signed up to speak before the council. Is there anybody in the audience that might not have gotten a chance to sign? Okay, seeing none, we will close public participation. You're on consent, I believe. So, there are no resignations or appointments. Under my remarks, just a couple. One is that Saturday, we have a light bulb swap and giveaway for Norwalk residents from 9 o'clock to noon, along with the residential energy saving campaign kickoff. Take place in the community room, and it's a joint effort between Eversource and the City of Norwalk. I believe all Eversource customers are eligible, and if you bring 5 regular light bulbs, they give you 5 LED light bulbs, and they're quite good at saving energy and helping to reduce our carbon footprint. Saturday, November 11th is Veterans Day. We honor all who served in the defense of our country. We will celebrate with a concert in the Norwalk Concert Hall on that Saturday, starting at 9:30 a.m. It'll be followed by a ceremony hosted by the veterans from the American Legion. The band is always quite amazing. If you haven't been to the event, it's certainly worthwhile coming to the event and listening to the wonderful band that plays a lot of the marches and those things. Yesterday, Adam Bovilski, our ADA coordinator for the City of Norwalk, and I revealed the installation of our new assisted listening system. There was a demonstration conducted by the Hearing Loss Association of America. Several rooms in City Hall, the Norwalk Senior Center, and the Norwalk Police Department are now outfitted with the systems that help our residents with hearing impairments participate more fully in our public meetings and events. We greatly appreciate having the press spread the word. Our goal is to eliminate barriers that prevent people with disabilities from accessing municipal programs and services in our parks, government buildings, on our website, and other city activities. Mr. Igneri.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Under general council business, I just wanted to talk about November. We have 3 council meetings in November. There will be one November 14th, which will be this council currently is sitting. Well, I hope the others join us too. And that will be our last meeting of this council, and we will conduct current council business. There will be another meeting on November 21st, which is the swearing in of the new council. And then on November 24th, we'll have the regular council meeting of the new council. So if everyone has that, I will go to the consent calendar. For people that are here may not know, the consent calendar is everything that's been discussed and approved. And if you hear the item you're interested in read aloud, you can rest assured it's been approved. And if you'd like to, you can stay for the rest of the meeting, or you can leave. With that, I will turn it over to Mr. Sarasis to read the consent calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Igneri. Common Council Committees, Recreation, Parks, and Cultural Affairs. A1, authorize Mayor Harry Rilling to enter into an agreement with the Greenwich Kennel Club, Longshore Southport Kennel Club, for the use of Taylor Farm for their 85th Greenwich Kennel Club AKC Dog Show, Obedience and Rally Trails, and Longshore Southport Kennel Club AKC Dog Show to be held Saturday, June 9th, 2017, and Sunday, June 10th, 2017, from 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., set up to take place at 6 a.m. on Wednesday, June 6, 2017, with a teardown no later than 12 noon on Tuesday, June 12, 2017. Estimated attendance, 1,000. A2, authorize Mayor Harry Rilling to enter into agreement with Nice, Inc. for the use of Oyster Shell Park for the annual Nice Festival to be held Saturday, July 7th, 2018, from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., set up to take place Friday, July 6, 2018, at 6:30 a.m., with teardown no later than 12 noon Monday, July 9th, 2018, estimated attendance 4,000, and I might add that a correction was made to that teardown date. It was listed as July 9th, 2017. It's been corrected to 2018. A3, authorize Mayor Harry Rilling to enter an agreement with Atlas Pyrovision Entertainment Group for the annual fireworks display for the 2018-2020 displays for a sum not to exceed $43,500, including the barge each year. Account is noted. A4, authorize Harry Rilling, W. Rilling, to enter into an agreement with Charter Contracting Company for LLC for Ryan Park Remediation Project for a sum not to exceed $2,604,840, along with a contingency amount of $260,484. Funds available from DECD Remediation Grant, $2 million, and a HUD Choice Neighborhood for Hoods Park Improvement Grant of $1 million. 7A5, authorize Mayor Harry Rilling to enter into a contract with Terry Contracting and Materials, Inc. for project number 3789, Veterans Park Memorial Park Floating Dock Replacement for a sum not to exceed $1,521,380. Account is noted. 7A6, approve the use of Veterans Park by the Norwalk Board of Education for the annual Norwalk River Run to be held Saturday, December 2nd, 2017, from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, with a rain date of Sunday, December 2017. Estimated attendance, 400. 7A7, approve the use of Cranberry Park Gallagher Mansion and immediate surrounding grounds by Daniel Anastasio and Elena Roberto for a wedding to be held Saturday, September 29th, 2018, from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. Estimated attendance, 200 plus. 7A8, approve the use of Cranberry Park Gallagher Mansion and immediate surrounding grounds by Catherine Simon for a wedding to be held Saturday, August 4th, 2018, from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Estimated attendance, 100 to 150. 7A9, approve a sole source procurement request for the wind supply of Shelton for a Cranberry Gallagher Mansion boiler replacement project for a sum not to exceed $35,813.57. Account is noted. 7A10, approve the whale installation on the temporary construction fencing at Ryan Park from October 31st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017. 7A11, approve the use of Cranberry Park Pavilion 1 by FactSet for their analytics fall outing to be held Thursday, October 19th, 2017, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Estimated attendance 100. Finance and Claims Committee. 7B1, accept and approve the report of the Claims Committee dated October 12th, 2017. 7B2, for informational purposes only, narrative on tax collections dated October 2nd, 2017. 7B3, for informational purposes only, monthly tax collectors report dated September 30th, 2017. 7B4, resolution, approve a special capital appropriation in the amount of $509,000 to increase the available funds for Phase 2 roofing project 09187-5777-C0439. The funds will be drawn from the balance in the capital fund. 7B5, authorize the Director of Finance to execute an up to 36-month agreement with a qualified low bidder for project number 3794, electricity generation supply service for city locations. 7B6, rescind the council approval of May 23, 2017, authorizing Mayor Harry Rilling to execute an agreement with CDR Solutions for email archiving system for an amount not to exceed $34,250. Account is noted. Budgeted IT capital project, no special appropriation required. Approve as revised. Authorize Mayor Harry Rilling to execute an agreement with Mimecast North America, Inc. for email archiving system for amount not to exceed $34,200. Account is noted. Budgeted IT capital project with no special appropriation required. Ordinance Committee. 7C1, approve Art Commission bylaws. Land Use and Building Management Committee. 7D2A, authorize the Mayor Harry W. Rilling to execute a contract with Young Developers, LLC, for the City Hall roof project, replacement project for a total not to exceed $830,421. Account is noted, and the account is subject to a special capital appropriation. 7D2B, authorize the Office of Building Management to issue change orders on a contract for a total not to exceed $83,042. And I might add, we're going to have to correct something because
Two things.
your W is missing in a couple of places where it says Harry Rilling, and it doesn't have the Harry W. Rilling.
We also have
It's the other guy.
we have a couple
Yeah.
of dates too.
There, yeah,
Couple dates too.
7,
1.
7, 8, 11. The dog show. Yep, 7A1, yep.
And 7A11.
Dates.
Oh, so there are two more we needed to change.
Yeah, and
7A1 and 7A11.
It's 18, not 17.
All right, 7A11, right?
I
Yep,
think we should check that because we didn't have a quorum, so stuff came right to the council. I'm pretty sure that event happened.
Oh, it already happened?
Yeah, well, it was a small one. It didn't really have to come here.
okay.
Oh,
On 7A11?
Yeah,
so that date is right.
yeah.
Yes.
So the issue is 1.
Okay.
You mentioned that.
Yes, 7A2 is the one I corrected.
Right.
That's
So you need to do 7A1, right?
Yeah, he did that.
He did two before, but
Yeah,
7A1 is June 6th, 2018, and June 12th, 2018.
June 10th,
Okay. So do you want me to read that over with the corrections?
June 9th, 10th.
Do we have all the corrections? Okay. Any other corrections or comments of the consent calendar as read? Seeing none, all in favor? Is that unanimous? Mr. Mayor, I turn it back to you.
thank you, Mr. Igneri. If I might, I believe we might have some Boy Scouts in the audience.
Yay.
Are you here? You have a leader with you, or, and what are you here for, to learn about your government?
Yeah, and for the citizenship of the community merit badge.
Okay, for a merit badge. The agenda's rather short tonight, so it's going to be a quick study, but if you want to come back another time, feel free to come back. So, thank you.
Mr.
And
Mayor?
next time you come back, we always ask the Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts to come down and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, so,
Mr. Mayor?
yes.
As an Eagle Scout, I'm glad to see you guys here and come to as many meetings as you can to learn more about how government works. Congratulations that you're here and taking an interest. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, item 7D1, Mr. Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to read the item, move it, and then speak to it.
Okay, Mr. Livingston moves the item.
71, approve the proposed Norwalk Maritime Aquarium Improvement Plan as developed to address the state's needs for the Walk Bridge Replacement Project. City staff was authorized to sign off on construction plans and related permits and documents consistent with the approved plan. All new agreements or modifications to existing agreements must be submitted separately to the Common Council for approval. This is it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of what it is, but the reason we're doing that is, I think as everybody knows here, the city owns the property, and as the property owner, therefore, we need to sign off on the agreements and help move this project along. A couple things we need to be clear on. One, as noted in the resolution, any new agreement or modifications to existing agreements will come back to the council for approval, so we're not approving anything like that. We're also not obligating the city to spend any money at this point. I also want to commend the Maritime Aquarium for doing this. We've talked so much about the disruption that's coming to the city because of the Walk Bridge project, and here the aquarium is getting ahead of it, and I think they are doing the appropriate thing in planning and have come up with a very detailed plan to address this, and we can't lose sight of the fact that the Maritime Aquarium brings, I think, $25 million a year to the city and $50 million a year to the state. And I, for one, don't want the city to risk losing any of that because they get delayed on this project. So I really do believe we need to move this forward. And just one last point, the Maritime Aquarium and their representatives are here tonight if we want to have the project presented to the council, but we do have the materials here.
Thank you, Mr. Livingston. Mr. Bonifant.
Oh, thank you. One of the questions that we did have in the committee, even though we didn't have a quorum, but you had the privilege to move this forward, and that's fine. What the question that wasn't answered is, how much is this going to cost and who's paying for it? And I just was hoping that there would be some kind of a signal from the state of Connecticut that they're going to cover the whole thing, because we've been on the hook before when the Maritime Center didn't pay for your other construction loans, and we paid for it through the taxpayers. So with discussions just before the meeting, we were a little late because Mario was, Mr. Coppola was good enough to explain some of the things to us, and I just don't want to see the taxpayer get on the hook for something that they're not going to pay. Thank you.
Mr. Kimmel.
Just to note, I agree with both of you. It's an interesting point, but we have to understand that that $25 million in revenue that comes to the city has helped keep taxes low. So you pay one way or the other. And the better the Maritime Aquarium does, the better the city does, the better the city does, the better our taxpayers will do. So I think it's in everyone's interest to figure out a way to get through this very tough situation that they're in, through no fault of anyone, but the Walk Bridge getting old. So I'm going to vote for this, and if we can help in any way with the money not coming out of city coffers, but finding ways to finance it, I think the city should do that to preserve this, not only for Norwalk, but for the state. And like I said before, it is in the interest of our property taxpayers to have a thriving downtown, whether it's a mall or a Maritime Aquarium or whatever. Thank you.
Mr. Livingston.
If I could just comment, I do agree with you, Rich. I don't think we should sign up to an unlimited budget either, but my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, is that we're not obligating ourselves to pay anything right now. We are approving the plans. Any request from financing or anything else is going to have to come back to this council, at which time we will look at that in the context of the cost as well as what they provide to the city.
That is accurate, something we discussed before.
Ms. O'Toole Giandirko.
I'm glad to see that we're taking a proactive approach on this. I know that membership and attendance at the aquarium have been on the rise, so we need to make sure that we stay with that, with this kind of money coming into the city, stay on it so the people are still able to get to all the exhibits that they love and be ahead of this even with the Walk Bridge coming. Thank you.
Further discussion. Mr. Hempstead.
Just going through the site plan, I'm not seeing anything outside of their current limit of the lease with the city of Norwalk, is that correct? The land that they're leasing, there's no other easements street-wide or anything right now asking for in this site plan? I'm not seeing
Not on
it.
behalf of the aquarium, but we recently received, as we discussed right before this meeting, a request from the state of Connecticut, which we knew was coming, for 2 easements at the subject property, and also that request, or that taking letter from the state included their offer to pay the city for the improvements there on the property, or to instead provide for the functional replacement of those improvements.
Further discussion.
Just a curiosity question, because we're last in the process, and I'm just kind of curious, how do they make an application to zoning when it needs requirements of the owner of the property as a sign off for the application?
Contingent.
Yeah,
And that is the city of
contingent on it.
Norwalk.
Yeah, and I'll tell you,
Contingent on
I was,
council approval.
yeah, and I was the one who actually, because that issue came to us, in fairness to the council for the aquarium, Attorney Woodland is here. He reached out a long time ago on that issue, wanted to make sure that there'd be no issues with regard to applying, moving forward with the land use applications, as did their other counsel. Attorney Suchi's here, and Attorney Hennessy was in touch with us as well months ago. There's a certain timeline. We've been living with this now for a few years. We've been having many meetings with Dr. Davis and Attorney Woodland on this project. And there's certain timelines that the aquarium has to meet in order to not have the IMAC shut down for an unnecessary period of time. So we had to move the zoning applications forward. And the decision the city made, at my suggestion in council, was let's move forward with let the aquarium move forward with the zoning applications. We're going to get the lease approved within the next month to make this change with regard to the site plan. If it ends up getting to a decision with the zoning commission prior to the time that the lease is approved, or any other necessary approval, such as with the Maritime Aquarium, we could always make the zoning approval contingent upon having the necessary city approvals for the property. What we didn't want to do was not let them move forward with the land use approvals until they receive the municipal approvals.
I appreciate it, because, I mean, I agree with,
And by the way, I think it's fair, it's also important to point out that the aquarium has really done a great job of being very proactive about this project, and the state deadlines keep moving. I think it was a few years ago, the state had different deadlines for when they were going to move forward with this project. For example, the taking request letter only came to us recently. We thought that was going to come a long time ago. So the time deadlines, or their timeline keeps changing, and the aquarium is having to constantly adapt to those changes. They've done a really great job of being proactive and doing everything they can to protect the aquarium. It's been a lot of work on their end, and a lot of sleepless nights for Dr. Davis and others.
don't disagree with that. Glad to see they're trying to get out in front of this. I mean,
Yeah, they've done a
I
wonderful
was
job.
around when we first voted for this thing, so, you know, I know how important it is to the livelihood of not only Aquarium, but the city of Norwalk, so.
Further discussion? Mr. Igneri.
I'd just like to add that I think this is a very important part of our city. I will be voting to move this forward. It's a great attraction, such a great attraction that I have relatives coming and spending nights in my house just so they can get tours of the aquarium. So maybe we don't want it. No, seriously, it's a great addition to the city, and I think we have to move this forward.
Further discussion?
Might as well.
Mr. Cadiz.
And it's also been brought to my attention that the current IMAX theater's screen isn't capable of showing certain movies. And in order to, and not generating the income it should, and someone wants to chime in on that, but over the years, that's the feedback I've gotten. In order to change the screen and update the technology, you'd have to remove the wall anyway. So I'm thinking, you know, this actually, you know, one of the better things to come out of the Walkway project is we're not coming out of our pockets. Well,
Mr.
city
Kimmel.
pockets.
It's going to be a functional replacement.
Mr. Kimmel.
You're right. There, in my mind, there's a silver lining here. As bad and disruptive as the Walk Bridge is going to be, the Maritime Aquarium was in a peculiar situation, and they looked at that situation and they came up with some interesting conclusions. And from what I remember at the committee meeting, where the plan is to move to really do a nice job on the entrance to improve that, and regarding the actual IMAX, you're moving towards a 4D type of, 4D is what they're called, yes, where you actually experience what you're watching. And if you've ever been in one of those, it's actually kind of cool. I have, and I think it'll be a great addition to the aquarium, especially if you can link it to the aquarium's mission regarding the environment, sea life, and all of that. And not just like, you know, a racing car or something like that, but something that's integral to the aquarium's goals. I think that would be really, really terrific.
Further discussion? Mr. Bonifay?
Thank you. I just want to say, I'm okay with the plan and the layout and all that. My concern was about who's paying for it.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? So carries. Thank you. Mr. Igneri?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
All right.
You can come back when we have a little bit of a longer meeting if you wish.